Guys. Guys, you're not on yet, but we're up.
Okay? I'll let you know when you're gonna talk, okay? I'll say 3, 2, 1 and go.
Are we ready?
Yes,
Ready? Do we need
Here we have Sia, the goalkeeper of the KIS team. She has made some amazing saves, and how do you feel about your upcoming game?
I'm scared because Prague is pretty good at shooting.
That's right. They'll be facing the Falcons, the infamous Falcons, the strong Falcons. But do you think you have a chance at winning? Of course. That's the spirit. Hey guys.
Hello.
How's it feel to come out so victoriously today?
Great.
So in total you scored
8 goals.
8,
9,
10 goals.
That's why people
That's
start doing sports and not athletes.
Is it true that you train 5 days a week?
No. Yeah. 2 days a week.
Well, there was some incorrect commentary up in the hub.
Who said that? I train 3 days a week.
You trained 3 days.
I train 3 days. In high school. I train 2, but
Hell, they train 7 days per week, man, with that type of play. Good job, girls.
Yeah, that's what I thought, honestly. You guys, very good football out there. Hey guys, you just came back from a game against the Vampires, is that correct? And which game was that for you today? So you were a bit tired by that point, right? What is your strategy for the coming games tomorrow?
Strong offense, work together as a team, and to improve our offense and work together more.
But we did see you doing some really great, footwork on the field, spreading out, passing. We think you're a really good team. We're on your side. We're rooting for you, and we hope to see you tomorrow. Good luck, guys. I'm here with the Bucharest A team, the Vampires themselves, here on the bench. So, what was your last game? What was the final outcome? 2-0 for them, and they defeated the Blazers, and it was some very good effort. Was that your last game for today?
Yes.
What are your plans for changing up your strategies tomorrow? Will you keep it the same?
Well, for each game we play, and then we figure out what our weaknesses are, and depending on that, we change up the strategy. So I can't really tell you what's.
It's a secret strategy that they're keeping from us, which is a good idea because I'm a Kozak and I'm about to tell my team. So we interviewed you before the match, and you said that we're probably gonna win, right? And see, you just won. So how does that make you feel?
Happy.
Happy. That's exactly what you need to be. You think tomorrow you can win your games too? Absolutely. So you just won the last game of today with an amazing score of 1-0. We are with the star player number 2. What's your name? Aaliyah. So, up in the hub right there, we watched you play, and we're comparing you to the ranks of Lionel Messi. How many goals did you score total today? 6 goals.
And tell me, Aaliyah, something else. The last game versus Prague, were you nervous at all? What was going through your mind?
I wasn't really nervous, more like I was really tired and exhausted from the day, but otherwise, I was a little nervous at the beginning because they beaten every single of their team. But
we'll join you tomorrow and we'll watch you climb the ladder to first.
And we are back here for the second day of the middle school girls soccer season. It is your favorite commentators right here, Bo right here, with Steph and Maxwell Harvard Moody. And we are now back with the first game of today, the KIS B team versus the Bucharest B team.
As you just saw, those were the interviews we took yesterday with the tired players, the happy players, and the sad players. Let's take a look at the statistics. Can you sum up what happened last night?
All right, so right now we are going to focus on the B team tournament. So the KIS B team making us proud, making the Cossacks proud with a 3-0 record, meaning they won all 3 of their games and have yet to lose. Furthermore, they scored 8 goals and conceded 0, the only team in the whole tournament to concede 0 goals. The Bucharest team, who they're playing against right now, lost 2 of their games and drew 1 game. Prague B, who are playing on the pitch besides the pitch you can see right now, won a game, drew a game, and lost a game. So they have a 1-1-1 record. KCA, who is playing against the Prague Falcons, won 0 games, drew 2 games, and lost 1 game.
All right, so what are you guys' predictions for today? What do you want to see happen? What do you expect to see to happen?
Well, first of all, the first games that I have right before me, the Bucharest Vampires and KIS B team, as Bo mentioned, the KIS B team is undefeated, unscored against. I have my high hopes for them. I think number 2 and 15 will come through, score some goals. As for the Falcons versus KCA, KCA has had a tough time, but it looks like they have some new players on the field, and I think they might have a chance today.
Now, these, of course, are our technical semifinals. So whoever wins both of these games between the KIS and versus the Bucharest and Prague versus KCA will go into the finals. We have high hopes for our KIS B team. They have yet to concede a goal all tournament. Scored 8, conceded 0, as I've mentioned already, and they look like a promising team and most probable favorites for this tournament. So far in this game, they've been on a little more on the defensive side, which we haven't seen a lot at this tournament. Bucharest have come out with intensity. Perhaps they went over their game yesterday and have come out with a new tactical setup.
And I mean, we already covered this yesterday, but for anyone who didn't tune into our amazing live stream, this day is really the key day for all the teams, because this is when, you know, it's decided who goes to the championship and who does not.
That's right. I'd like to say, they've got some different formations on the field. Bucharest has 2 people in defense, while KIS has 3. And I think that might be costly for the Bucharest Vampires, as, you know, you've got number 2 and 15 who can just dribble their way around the defense, as we've seen. What do you think, Bo?
Yeah, of course. I think everyone in this tournament, they've come on the first day. They haven't really maybe expected as much from our KIS B team, but then they've watched the games and they've watched our very own number 2 and number 15. I think our clear favorites in this commentary booth. They've just been dominating. They've scored all 8 of the Cossacks' goals. But of course, I think an important thing not to forget is that they've conceded 0 goals all tournament. So that KIS, and just to take a break from my commentary to look at the action, KIS just missed a very close chance there in Bucharest now with the goal kick. KIS has actually conceded 0 goals all tournament. So despite the fact we've been going so much over their attacking threats with number 2 and number 15, you have to recognize the defensive efforts from the KIS defenders.
And I mean, I do think that by this point the teams have realized KIS B team's potential, because we did see just right now over there, they covered number 2 and number 15, and I think that's what all the teams will be aiming to do today, to really get on those 2 girls.
You could say that the KIS B team has coined the nickname KIS Beast Team. Now, number 2 running up, seeing if she can find a spot through the defense, but the defense takes it back. Bucharest advancing up the field, and the KIS defense kicks it away.
And I think it's definitely a tougher mentality when you know you're the favorite in the tournament and you have to go out there with a different sort of mentality. There's so many different aspects to the game of sport, but one of the biggest components is that mental aspect. And if in a tournament you cannot, if you believe it's going to be easy, if you believe you're going to walk through this tournament and win every single game by playing with that mentality, it does not necessarily mean that it's going to be. And just as I look over to the other side of the pitch, the Prague Falcons have gone 1-0 up against KCA. And of course, it's still 0-0 in this game between the Cossacks and the Bucharest Vampires. The Vampires putting up quite a strong fight so far in this semifinal.
They are indeed. I mean, they are being very offensive on this day today. We did not see this yesterday. I mean, we usually saw KIS being the ones, you know, on the opposing team's side of the pitch, but today, I mean, it's their offense doing a lot of the work.
Well, yes, Steph, and defense. Well, it seems like it all comes down to their formation. As I said, Bucharest really concentrated their players on the offensive half of the field, while KIS is keeping their defensive wall strong. So this game will really come down to perhaps luck and chances, and it looks like number 2 and number 15 are making their way up the field, number 12, but the Vampires kick it away. Oh, the goalie catches the ball.
And perhaps KIS has adopted a new system moving forward for the second day. Maybe perhaps they're looking to go a little more defensive and hit on the counterattack. Of course, as we said, one of the biggest things to this KIS team's success so far is the fact they've conceded 0 goals. So perhaps they've decided to adopt that strategy to a higher level, and they've gone a lot more defensive for the second day of this tournament.
And how do you guys in general, I mean, how do you feel about that strategy? Like, right now, I mean, we've seen a lot of, you know, of the Bucharest team on our side of the pitch, and how do you guys feel about that?
I feel comfortable until they score. I think it's as simple as that. As long as the strategy is working, I feel good about it. And as soon as it starts to not work, I'll question it.
That's right. And to all the viewers out there, we'd like to mention, as you might remember from yesterday, the star players number 2 and 15 of the KISB team, who just scored, by the way, number two with her 5th goal in this tournament, 1st goal today. So number 2 and 15, we'd like to recognize them by their actual names. Number 2's name is Aliyah, and number 15 is Alyssa, and they are proud Cossacks, doing very well for the school, and we're very proud of them. We hope that their parents are watching.
And just for any of our viewers, number 2, Aliyah, is 11 years old, so it is actually her 1st year in middle school, and it is so nice to see her dominating this tournament at such a young age, and really an exciting prospect, not just for the middle school soccer teams, but even in up-and-coming years for the high school girls soccer team, as she's a force to be reckoned with. And as you can see right now, as she dribbles down the wing, crosses the ball in, perfect football, and even gets her head to the ball there. It's a force of throw-in for KIS. Oh, the Bucharest girl saves it.
And I mean, she definitely has even more potential. I definitely see her being on the A team in her future years in middle school. And I did not know what you just mentioned, that she was just 11 years old. That is pretty spectacular.
Truly remarkable.
Truly spectacular. Just like Harvard is a spectacular school.
While Harvard is a spectacular school, I'd like to remind the viewers, I've only applied while Bo here, one of our commentators, has actually been accepted already 3 days after applying to Butler. Okay? What do you have to say about that, Steph?
I mean, congratulations. Butler bound. What can I say?
Of course, I'd also like to remind the viewers, my university decision is yet to be made, and but it is very nice to see that first acceptance. It is very positive. It relaxes me, and you know, we'll see for the future what else, what other options come my way.
I can agree with you. Seeing that first acceptance is just as good as seeing KIS score their 1st goal.
Truly a great metaphor there.
Thank you. It must be my AP language and composition classes paying off.
All right, enough of this. Back to the game. KIS with a more great defensive effort, and we really like to see this from our Cossacks. I'm really hoping they can actually go the whole tournament without conceding a goal. Good clearance there from number 4.
ball seems to have made its way onto the KIS defensive half of the field. Looks like trouble for the Cossacks. The Vampires are keeping possession of the ball pretty well and advancing up the field. One defender in between the attacker and the goal, but she does not make it. They have another chance. And KIS with the counterattack. Number 2 in front of the whole defense. The goalie kicks it away.
Number 15 and number 2 with that dynamic. I mean,
and it's really great to see that they've developed a great partnership. And number 2 here, we can expect some skills in the corner as she gets by one, puts it into the middle, and a rough touch there from the KIS. Number 7, who actually is kind of the dark horse, you could say, in the KIS attack. They play with 3 attackers up front, and we talked so much about number 2 and number 15, but number 7 has done a great job as well, playing her position well. And a free kick now for KIS. We saw yesterday number 15 scored in a similar position to this from a free kick. Maybe you could say she's a dead ball expert.
For our bettors, I would put 2-0 at least for KIS. This looks like a very, very good shot on goal, and it's number 15.
I would like to hope that you are correct about this score, but I mean, we can't jinx anything just yet.
I would say watch out for number 2. She's standing at that far post area, and she's just standing there unmarked. If I was number 15, I would look for the pass. Oh, and she goes for the shot. A little selfish there from number 15, but I can understand it because there is a little bit of a goal battle going on between number 2 and number 15. Number 15 with 4 goals and number 2 with 5. And yesterday we were having some great banter about betting on both players. And if you actually took that and made it a reality, then if any of you bet on number 2, you would be winning.
And right now we see Bucharest on offense, but they miss.
KIS nearly escaped trouble there as Bucharest made their way up the line right 10 meters away from the goal. And just in time, KIS's very own defender, number 4, came and stopped that ball, kicked it out. And the defense kicks the ball, getting it up the field, and they brought it onto their offensive half.
Number 7 now running down the wing with a great pass into the middle. Number 2 there, good defending from the Bucharest defender, and just to be sure, she clears that out for a corner kick.
As I said, I mean, I think today they're a lot more focused on really like defending against number 2 and number 15. There's always someone covering them.
And also, just to remind you, this is the semifinals for the B team tournament. So on this pitch, we have and what a goal! And if I am not mistaken, that is a goal for the KIS B team, not scored by number 2 or number 15. And it is number 5 who scored that goal, and it was actually a beautiful volley from her. And KIS lead this game 2-0, and they're breezing their way into this finals. I don't want to get too overconfident, but they did beat this Bucharest team by a score of 5-0 yesterday. So I think that'll be in the KIS girls' heads and also the Bucharest girls' heads.
That's right. The KIS B team, or KIS Beast team, keeping true to their nature and game. They don't look tired from last night. Apparently they slept well, I must say. Well, they do have the advantage that they're not the ones being hosted. And you never know, maybe the hosts do something to those guests.
That would never happen in our Cossack community. We treat everyone with a welcoming host houses. We have welcoming host houses. And the ref blows the time for halftime. Halftime also starts at the other side of the game. So now we'll have our halftime show as usual. And here we are. Max, we talk a lot about this KISB team. We actually rave a lot about this KISB team. What is there anything more that we have to say about them?
Well, I mean, anything more. We talk about them plenty, and I'm sure you viewers are in love with them, absolutely. When we heard that the KISB team is playing first we woke up early and we said we want to be commentating on it because these are the star players. These are the players I love to watch the most, and I see lots of potential in them. I know they'll make it far in life and in soccer.
Yes, I mean, I think we really see a great dynamic there with that team, and the fact that they are unbeaten and they have conceded 0 goals, I think that gives them that extra confidence that, you know, they are the true leaders right now in the B team part of the tournament.
And it also looks like right now KIS is heading towards the final, while if we look at the other game, it looks like Prague are also heading to the finals. And just to remind you, these are the B teams right now, and up next after this game, we'll have the A team tournament with the KIS A team, who yesterday didn't perform as well. They lost all 3 of their games, but they'll be looking to bounce back today. And how do you bounce back from such a tough first day? What as a coach and what as a player are you thinking in your head?
Well, you do have to remember the 2 leagues traditionally divided A team and B team. The A team are usually more tough, and so perhaps the KIS A team just fell under pressure. Perhaps that some of their players had never played in the A team before. As a coach, I would tell them to just keep trying hard. It is the semifinal. It is just the semifinal, and they do have a chance still. So.
And up next, of course, we have KSA versus the Warsaw A team, and that game will start at 10:30 Kiev time right after this game finishes. So if you're here to tune in for the A team tournament, then that game will come up right after this. Of course, KSA versus Warsaw. There's a little bit of you could say, a coaching conflict there between the 2 coaches. Of course, Mr. Szowski, the Warsaw coach, used to be a Kozak himself.
And unfortunately, that game will not be commentated by us, so that is a very sad thing. However, right now it looks like in the finals it will be KIS facing off Prague and KCA facing off Bucharest for the 3rd and 4th place. But, I mean, everything could change in an instant, and we're back to the game.
And the ref blows his whistle, which signals the start to the second half. If we can get our cameras to switch towards the half.
But we are watching the second half, just to remind you, of KIS B team versus Bucharest Vampires B team. And the fields have switched. KIS number 7 with her second shot on goal today, but the goalie kept it out, and she's about to kick it down the field.
All right, and what so far, judging from the first half of this game, what do you guys expect to see in the second half?
Well, most importantly, I expect the KIS Beast team to close out this game. I want to see another clean sheet. As I said, I made it my target for that B team to go concede 0 goals all tournament long. So I'm hoping that they can continue that form in this second half, and then move on to the finals, where it most likely looks like they'll be playing against that Prague B team, and then hopefully from that point on they can take the trophy home for this B team tournament.
And just to remind you, viewers, it is 2-0 currently for the Kozak B team, and it looks like both teams have retained their general positions, although it looks like KIS has moved further back into defense with a stronger wall just to secure that goal count and not let past any goals, right?
I mean, yes, I think the main thing for KS right now, they are already leading, so as long as they don't concede any goals, they are fine, and they do. I mean, I do not think they need to score more.
Also, just to update any of our Kozak viewers right now of the middle school boys tournament. Yesterday I got news from the coaches that the KIS B team has won 2 games and lost 2 games, while the KIS A team won 1 game and lost 3 games. The coaches were both positive about their performance, however, and they're looking to go into the second day and hopefully perform a little better. And you never know. You never know in football. It's a game of two halves, and it's a game of luck. It's a game of luck and shooting your shots, like Steph here besides me always says.
And I mean, that's what all the teams are trying to do right now. Shoot their shots. And here we have number 7. With
A dramatic fall for the Cossacks. Let's see if the ref calls a free kick. Yes, it will be a free kick for the Cossacks, and the attackers are looking for space, seeing this might be a call for 3-0. Shot, the goalie ricochets off her arms. She rolls and catches the ball, secures it, throws it out, and Vampires advance up the sideline.
And as we've seen already, we saw yesterday number 15, Elisa. She scored from a dead ball free kick, and today she's had 2 opportunities. She's put in 2 powerful shots. The first one went over the bar, and that one tested the keeper. So I'm saying if she gets a third, I'm thinking that's going in the back of the net.
Yep. I think so too. I think I have my hopes for number 15 evening out the score with number 2.
Absolutely. And though this is the B team, I do see very much potential and efforts, as we've seen in many A-team level games, such as the Falcons or Moscow A-teams. Very strong. And a bit of trouble here. Some conflict between players. And the Vampires aggressively move up the field, take a shot from halfway, but the goalie picks it up effortlessly.
And as Steph was saying before we went live on this broadcast, it would be really interesting to see the KIS B team up in that A-team tournament. You know, they've just sort of breezed through this B-team tournament. And, I mean, I wouldn't say breeze, but they are undefeated. They've yet to concede. So I think it would be really interesting to see what they could do in that A-team tournament. I mean, I'm not saying that they would win or they would dominate that sector of the tournament. However, they're young, but the skill is there. They're young, but the skill is there, and I think
I do think when those girls move up, you know, and they are in 8th grade or in high school even, I think they have a lot of potential. And over here on the other side of the field, we have Prague with yet another goal, and the score for that game, Prague against KCA, is now 2-0. Prague dominating that game, so it does look like KIS B team, or the KIS Beasts, will be playing against the Prague Falcons.
And we have already seen in the starting rounds KIS B team versus Prague B team, and that game, KIS B team actually defeated Prague by a score of 1-0. Not quite defeated, but they did secure the win, did not concede any goals, and we'll see how that goes in the final if it does. And number 15 with a shot just misses. She's a bit upset. Gets a high five from one of the Vampire defenders, and that's some spectacular sportsmanship.
And although number 2, Alia, would have been disappointed that KIS didn't get their 3rd goal, I think inside she's maybe a little bit happy that number 15 didn't put that one away, because I think there definitely has to be a little bit of a internal battle for who's going to score the most goals of this tournament.
There is some tension.
And I mean, that was a good effort by number 15. I mean, I think it is just the pressure of this game, how important it is that it might be getting to these girls' heads a little bit.
But clearly it's not affecting the Cossacks that much. It's just to remind you they're winning 2-0. And perhaps after the game, we can go get an interview with our interview specialist, Maxwell Harvard Moody over here. Oh, and number 2 chips the keeper. Oh, and a good save from the keeper there. But number 2, she went for the cheeky chip, and she almost got away with that.
And speaking of cheeky, I remember you were comparing number 2 to Lionel Messi, but today it looks like she may be a little more like Ronaldo, you know, sneaking up the field, looking for stealing a goal or looking for the assist, right? Here she is, up in front of the whole defense, takes a shot. It bounces off the goalie's hands. Number 7. Oh, very close.
And sometimes you just have to credit the other team when they have done something well, because that was a brilliant defensive save there from the Bucharesti defense there. Of course, Maxwell Moody mentioned the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, and yesterday I mentioned the likes of Lionel Messi, and that always opens up the debate. Who is the GOAT of our time? Is it Lionel Messi or is it Cristiano Ronaldo? And if you're watching this, I want you to if you're watching this with someone next to you, I want you to look across to them and say, which one in your opinion is a better football player? Max, who do you think it is?
Well, I'd like to hear Steph's opinion too, so let's answer. Is it Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi? 1, 2, 3.
I don't think it's a debate.
Oh, there you go. It's Messi. And KIS?
Well, maybe not currently because he hasn't been as active, perhaps, but, you know.
So, KIS B team, just an update. They just had another shot on goal from number 15. And number 15 takes possession of the ball, but it is snitched away from the defense.
And I think if we were to move back to this middle school tournament, perhaps a more effective debate is whether it's number 2 or number 15, right? I mean, with Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, it's a close one. It's you can see the arguments for both sides. And I think it's the same for number 2 and number 15 of this KIS Beast team.
Yeah, I think they really work well together in a team, because I think both of them have equal potential. You know, I'm trying not to favor either one too much, as some of our commentators have, perhaps.
Of course, there is some friendly competition as number 2 tries to keep possession of the ball, get a good shot on goal, as she is right now. But she will be passing to number 15, as you can see. And she shoots, ricochets off that goalie's hands. I believe that goalie may have eaten something buttery this morning. The balls just cannot stick to her gloves.
And what a coincidence! What a coincidence that right as Maxwell Moody was talking about the chemistry between number 2 and number 15, number 2 dribbles past the player and then feeds number 15 for a shot on goal. And I think to go back to the Bucharest goalkeeper, she's done an excellent job this game. KIS has really been attacking well so far this game, and she's done well to keep them out. Number 2 here on the wing. Oh, dribbles past one. That is a signature move. It's like a little tiptoe dazzling feat from number 2.
And I must agree with you. I think the Bucharest goalie has done a tremendous job at keeping, the balls out of the goal. Like, we have had some great shots on goal. I mean, these girls are really, really trying their best, and so is the goalkeeper.
That's right. Though the goalkeeper, credits to her because she's blocked some fantastic shots from number 2 and 15 from the Kozak team. And I'm sorry about that comment. Actually, the credits, big kudos to the Vampires goalie. Very good effort, blocking all the shots actually successfully, except 2. And Steph, what is that you're saying?
And on the other side of the pitch, KCA have had a big attack, while the Bucharest team attacks the KIS team. This KCA team, they haven't won a game this tournament yet, but they are fighters, man. They put up a good fight, and I'll tell you what, if you're playing this KCA team, you're not getting an easy game. There is no such thing as an easy game when you play against these KCA girls.
And it is really, I think it's really phenomenal to see these teams that have, suffered mainly defeats so far. It's phenomenal to see them, try and do so well. I think that is truly, a great effort on the parts of their team.
And I just want to give a quick shout out to one of our viewers, Mr. Schwat. we were talking about Messi and Ronaldo because we were comparing our KISB teams to both of them. I was comparing number 2 to Messi earlier yesterday, and today Maxwell Moody was comparing number 15 to the likes of Ronaldo. So that opened the biggest football debate of our time, whether or not Messi or Ronaldo is the GOAT.
And another one of our viewers was asking, will we be covering the Prague matches? Yes, we will. Currently, we can only have our cameras and commentators looking at one match at a time, but an update on the match in the other half of the field. It is 2-0 for the Falcons. They have a free kick. And just as I said that, number 15 took their own shot at goal, but it hit the side of the net, not the inside, but the outside.
And also, just for any of our international viewers, KCA is a local school in Kiev. It is the Kiev Christian Academy, and they have participated in this B team tournament along with our very own KIS team. For our big Prague viewer, our biggest Prague fan, if the Prague B team continues to the finals, which it looks like they are as they are beating KCA 2-0 at the moment, they will end up playing this KIS B team in the championship game on this pitch at 12:30. Scratch that, 11:30 Kiev time.
And we will be commentating that game in case you want to hear us again.
And I also want to spark another debate in perhaps the comments section. Who has been the better commentary team? Is it our team, or is it the other two commentators that appear here and there? It would be great to get some feedback on the commentary from both sides, and I hope you say we're better.
Yes, and if any of our viewers have any criticisms or would like us to mention anything else in our commentating, I mean, we would love to see that in the comments. Feedback is great.
Absolutely, and I'm actually quite surprised, taken away, that people are watching us live, and that makes me happy. I mean, I know the stream stays up on YouTube, and you can watch it afterwards, and I did that last night, but knowing that people are watching us right now is fantastic. And the game just wrapped up on the other half of the field. It is 2-0 for the Falcons and 2-0 for the Cossacks. It will be the Cossacks versus the Falcons for the finals for the B team. And for fighting for third place are the Bucharest Vampires and KCA team.
That is correct. And, I mean, those will be two pretty intense games. What do you guys expect to see from those games?
Well, there is nothing more intense than the CISA finals, you know? It is the ultimate moment that these girls have been dreaming for. And it's coming up next at 11:30. We have our KIS B team versus the Falcons B team for that B team tournament trophy. And it's going to be a brilliant game. Of course, yesterday I was not here for when the two played each other in the group stages of this tournament. But KIS came out on top 1-0, and I think I know the finals is going to be a fast, close game, and I can't wait for that one.
I mean, also, I think the finals have a different dynamic as opposed to regular games because, you know, it's a different sort of pressure when you are playing for that first or third place. You have that responsibility on you for bringing home the trophy.
That is correct. So the KIS B team and Falcon B team, they have a 1-hour rest, or a 2-hour rest even, before 12, before their final match. They better rest up, they better talk their strategies through. The Falcon B team should be a bit worried because last time they met, the KIS B team came out 1-0. But still, the final match for the B team tournament is very much anticipated, and as we mentioned, it'll be your OG commentators commentating that.
And also, just to remind you, if anyone is here to watch the A team tournament, up next on this field we have the A team tournament. I'm not quite sure what teams are playing, but it's gonna be a good one. And it is Warsaw Kiev who is playing on this field next. And so of course the KIS team who weren't able to win a game yesterday. They actually lost all 3. I'm hoping today that they can put in a good performance and perhaps come out with that win. But they're facing a very strong Warsaw side. There's no doubt about it.
I mean, I think we will see a very interesting game because Warsaw, if I may see that, they have had a few losses. They have had 1 loss and 1 win and 1 tie. And so I think that will be very interesting to see them play our KIS team, which has yet to win a game. And I mean, I think we will see a great game over here and some great effort by these girls.
And so hopefully the biggest thing is we can see our Cossacks team making us proud, and that'll be up next with your other commentators. For now, it's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from me too.
And it's goodbye for me too, but we will be out on the field and we'll be getting some more videos for you. Interviews. I hope you like my interviews, by the way. We'll be getting more of that footage and seeing how the teams feel, because at this stage in the tournament, it really is full of emotion. Teams are winning, losing, crying, laughing, and we hope to see that.
And we hope to see you tune in to these interviews with the future class of Harvard attendant Maxwell Moody.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you in a bit.